for the Hawks. It's an interconference matchup right here. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan, joined as always by Court Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Take a look at the Warriors. They've probably been looking forward to this part of the schedule for a long time. A lot of upcoming home games are slated for them here.
Yeah, Kevin, this is a season series that has not gone well for this club. They're 0-2 right now against this opponent, and this is the last opportunity they'll have to get a win.
Yeah, this is a proud team. I mean, all pro teams typically are, so getting swept definitely would not sit well with them. I look for them to pull out everything they've got in their arsenal to try to prevent being swept.
So a look at our starting five for the Warriors, brought to us tonight by State Farm. Lee is the 4 with Bogut at the 5 beside him. Steph Curry and Thompson man in the backcourt. And it's Barnes in at the 3 spot. And for the Hawks, Josh Smith and Al Horford, the big men. Kevin Harris is out there with Teague. And it's Korver in at the 3. Screen by Bogut. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set and turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
And the basket by Harris.
And, you know, the focus for Coach Mark Jackson has been transforming this Warriors team from an offense-first and last culture to a defensive-minded one. That's a challenge. That's been 90% of their focus in training camp and practices, creating a defined defensive system so players can hold each other accountable and be held accountable.
Teague, the pass to Horford. He feeds it to Harris. Baseline jumper. Connects. The jumper drop. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Now we'll go to Dorisburg, who had a chance to talk with head coach Mark Jackson.
Yes, he's looking at how they can establish an edge in this one. He's looking for them to lock things down on the interior first and foremost. He said our shot blocking is something that could really help us if we just play smart and avoid fouls. We want them shooting over length, and that's one thing Mike has to bring to the table. Sound strategy, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Doris. And the defensive coach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
I don't know, Kevin. I'm not sure they should be more focused on their opponent than they are on themselves.
That is sort of the way it sounds, Steve, but still, I don't think a defense-first mindset is ever a bad thing.
You know, Steve, when you think about the Warriors, for decades they've been an up-tempo, high-scoring style of team, baseline to baseline. And you've played the game, obviously, as a general manager. You know this. Is it hard to reverse a team's culture like that?
No question, Kevin. You're going to have some growing pains, and you have to change the personnel as well. And that's exactly what Golden State has done now. They've added Andrew Bogut. They've got Harrison Barnes. They've got, I think, some better individual defenders on the roster. So now it's easier for that culture to take hold.
Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a loss to the Spurs in San Antonio.
I know that's a game they'd like to forget. Sort of a tough day for them all around.
Yeah, I don't see any reason they won't be able to rebound from it pretty quickly, though. I mean, this team throughout the season has shown itself to be pretty resilient.
And Steph Curry with the foul.
First team foul.
That's his first foul. Here's Harris. Smith kicks to Jones. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Jones has got his first 2 points. Warriors have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%.
You know, there have been rumblings, guys, that the Warriors are looking at a return to San Francisco and maybe building a new stadium across the bay. But we'll see how that goes. That's a very difficult thing to do these days, to secure the finances necessary and permits through the city. So we'll see what ends up happening. But either way, we know the Warriors will remain extremely popular in the Bay Area.
Here's Thompson, following the score by Josh Smith. Curry dishes to Lee. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Well, good job finding a little opening in the defense and burying the jumper.
And I know they've been looking for a place to play in San Francisco. They had a chance to go play over where the Giants are. And they chose Clark their home spot down at year 30-32. So in 2017, they will be in San Francisco.
That's right. Coming to the Bay, it's hard enough to find parking in San Francisco, much less a spot to put a stadium in. A little added hang time right there.
Yeah, letting himself down easy, it looks like.
Soft landing.
Yeah, a little better for the knees, so I don't blame him.
And it's Smith finishing it off.
Ryan out of the gate, just killing it up.
Both teams are, guys. I mean, points coming fast and furious.
Out to Lee. Over Harris. No good from Lee.
Typically, he's pretty dependable on those open jump shots.
Harris passes to Petra. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second bump. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out west. The season nearly complete. Look at San Antonio. And, of course, there's the Hawks. Tied up with them. Jenkins, he's checked in for Devin Harris. Then for the Warriors, Azili's checked in for Bogut. Landry comes in for Lee. And it's Jefferson in for Klay Thompson.
Well, you feel good for Larry Drew, who's in his 3rd season as a head coach, because he spent 18 years as an assistant before he finally got his big break with the Hawks. In all, he's been with Atlanta since 2004, so he knows these players well.
And Jenkins kicks to Smith. Petro goes up and lays it nice and easy.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
Tries for the alley-oop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop. And shot on the way. And it's Smith missing. And Larry Drew, well liked by the players in his time as an assistant. Probably made it a little bit easier for the ownership to make him the head coach as he replaces Mike Woodson.
Well, it's always easier to be the good cop, when you're the assistant coach. All of a sudden you become the head coach and you need to be tougher. You need to discipline players a little bit. It can be harder to have those relationships with your players. It's always a fine balance, but Drew has done a nice job of establishing himself with this Hawks team.
On the basket by Jones. The Atlanta Hawks coming to this one after the win against Milwaukee.
Well, it was a good win. Ball movement, offensive spacing, efficiency. They were just really solid at that end of the floor.
And when they got hot, they were impossible to cool down. That was the case throughout the game.
Teed left side. Here's Jenkins. Both teams have it going here early and still close through your Hawks. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game, stats-wise?
And the key has been the second chance points. You look at this team, the hustle that they play with. Very impressive in that first quarter.
Well, it's showing up on the scoreboard. I mean, you get second chance points like that. It can add to your totals and also demoralize your opponent.
Josh Smith and now Horford, the big men. Teague out there with John Jenkins. And it's Korver in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the Hawks 5. Jenkins dishes to Korver. Here's Smith. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Smith's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Hawks.
Atlanta's an interesting sports town, guys. It's kind of a transient town. A lot of people who have moved, maybe from New York or Chicago. So you don't have the passionate fan base down there that you might expect. And that's hurt them, I think, over the years. They haven't had the same gate receipts as some of the other big market teams. And that's been tougher to deal with.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Josh Smith. Green, the pass to Jefferson. Inside to Lincoln. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And it's not just the Hawks, but with all Atlanta teams, Falcons and Braves, they have a hard time selling games out there when it isn't part of a playoff situation.
And it's really unfortunate, Kevin, for the Hawks. They've become one of the tougher and more consistent teams in the East over the last half decade or so. I mean, they played some really good basketball down in Atlanta. You would think the fans would appreciate that.
Evan Harris is checked in for Atlanta. Here's Horford, and the shot is good. And the Hawks lead by 1.
Great matchup here. This game has gone back and forth.
Multiple lead changes, just a great game, guys.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Warriors shoot their 6th attempt maturity strike in the game.
Well, how about the numbers for this club? As a team, 79% from the free throw line this year.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Klay Thompson is checked in for Richard Jefferson. And it's good. Landry's got 4 points in the quarter. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes, that speaks for itself.
Yeah, back and forth start for sure. This game is setting up to be awfully competitive. Now let's take a look at some of the numbers for Al Horford. 9th in rebounding. I mean, there aren't too many guys more efficient offensively around the league. He's in the top 15 in field goal percentage.
And, Steve, I think where he's ranked on the rebounding list tells you a lot about his game right now. I mean, he's a smash-mouth glass eater.
And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. Victory a little bit last time in Atlanta when they faced the Hawks. Now at the moment here, let's take a look at our rookie leaderboard and who's putting up the most points per game. In the 3rd spot, Harrison Barnes.
Well, he was one of those players who, coming into the league, we wondered how his talent would translate to the NBA game. Well, I'd say the transition has gone pretty well.
No doubt about that, Steve. I mean, he's looked comfortable and confident since the first day he stepped onto an NBA court. He's had some big games for him.
Here's Landry. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. It's getting late in the season. Let's now see the standings out east. Taking a look at Miami. And, of course, the Hawks. Right now. Feeds it to Harris. Lets the 3 fly. Gets it to go. Harris has got 7 points.
That's all the space he needs, guys. He'll make you pay every time if you give him that shot.
Fast break, the Hawks. Teague gets to Corbin. Second chance effort. Pass to Horford. Hawks passing it around. To the middle. Here's Tolliver. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Tolliver's got his first bucket in this one. Thompson, a screen on Teague. Thompson. Guarded by Harris. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Well, if anything, Thompson has been an even better shooter in the pros than he was in college. Maybe because people aren't focused on him as much offensively. But he has a beautiful stroke, and he's a deadeye from the three-point line.
But, Steve, even when he's closely guarded, he has the confidence and focus to knock it down. Ivan Johnson, he's checked in for Atlanta. Jones comes in for Jeff Teague. Lee's checked in for the Warriors. Curry comes in for Jarrett Jack. Offensive rebound. Beadrin. Horford with the block.
Boy, both clubs really battling under the board.
Yeah, and, you know, Steve, the rebounding story really mirrors the game at large. I mean, it's been pretty much tit for tat, neck and neck.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Smith comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And it's Stevenson in for Ivan Johnson.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Great move to get to the bucket and lay that one in. He's got the softest touch around the basket. Impressive.
Since moving to Atlanta in 1968 from St. Louis, the Hawks have been a steady presence in the postseason, Kevin. Still, that penultimate goal of an NBA title has eluded them. And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
No, certainly you're right. That's moving it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
Here's Curry, following the score by Josh Smith. With the Hawks in the playoff history, they've always seemed to be the good team that just was overpowered, it seems, Steve, in the end.
Yeah, they've never had that transcendent player. The closest guy they had to that was probably Dominic Bogut, but he was playing in the era when So it's just been one of those things for Atlanta. They just haven't been able to get over that hump. They've been good. They just haven't been great.
Now here's Stevenson. And the foul called on Deshaun Stevenson. That is his first foul of the game.
That's the way you play defense. You saw the hop step a mile away and got in the path to disrupt it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Joan Petro, he's checked in for Horford. And it's Jenkins in for Devin Harris. Then for the Warriors, Andrew Bogut checked in for Beatrice. And it's Green in for Barnes. Here's Jenkins, and it's sent back by Bogut. Curry with him. Jones covering. They have space. And Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Jones kicks to Smith to stop the run, and it's good on the way in. Smith's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
And off in time, and he beat the buzzer, but it's no good.
7. The Warriors. 40.
Sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third.
Smith playing very well. He has 14 points, and he's contributed a steal to their cause at the defensive end.
Yeah, that's another area where he's done his share of work today. He's not ignoring his defensive responsibilities.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. In the middle, it's David Lee and Andrew Bogut. Steph Curry and Thompson manning the backcourt. And it's Green in at the small forward. And it's Barnes slamming it down.
Went for the two-hand throw down there. Needed safety and power.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
No, nothing fancy, but he finished with force.
2 seconds.
Harrison Barnes at 6'8", 220 pounds, comes in with good size at the small forward position. I thought it was disappointing that he didn't turn into more of a playmaker at North Carolina, more of a multi-dimensional offensive weapon, but he really became more of a jump shooter and a scorer as a target.
You know, the defense has to prevent the ball from getting down into that area if they're going to be successful, guys.
And the Hawks making a change here. Horford's checked in.
And now we'll check out the numbers Jeff Teague has been putting up, 8th in free throw shooting. And as a distributor, he's been really effective, ranking in the top 10 in assists.
Steve, you mentioned his top 10 free throw percentage. I mean, it's really a strong part of his game. And he's the kind of guy that if you're defending him, you don't want to foul him. Make him earn him from the field. Don't send him to the line.
Going back to Harrison Barnes, to have that kind of impact, many expected for him early. He'll have to continue to Clark round out his game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he will, Kevin, because he's got size. He's a hard worker, serious about his game, wants to be good. He can shoot it. He's got to tighten up his ball handling. But if he does that, I think he's going to be fine.
That's what a good solid screen will do for you. Get you a good look at the hoop.
Smith left side. Baseline J on the way. That's good. And so Teague with the assist.
Well, he's smart. He's getting good shots, and he's knocking them down.
Curry gets the screen from Bogut. Lobs the alley-oop pass. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Well, that certainly sent a ripple through the crowd.
Yeah, no, alley-oop always does that. One of the most beautiful plays you'll see in all of basketball. Yeah. It's impossible not to be impressed.
Yep, very exciting play to see that.
Especially when it ends with that big slam like that one.
Horford no luck. Warriors leading by 5. But they recover it.
Now, Kevin, this is a player who can shoot the lights out from three-point land.
And Steve, you know what? He's not just a mindless bomber either. I mean, with him, it's about using that three-point shot effectively and strategically to stretch the defense.
And the Hawks making a change here. Jones is checked in.
Second team foul.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Great open look there. Lee's got 6.
Beautifully executed play there to get that basket.
Teague kicks to Horford. And hits. And Golden State will come the other way.
I think he's just got to compose himself, gather himself. Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now. Two hands for safety, one hand if you want major elevation.
That's right. That's right.
You know you can get up higher with one hand. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It really is true. And you can extend better with that.
Well, whatever he did, whatever it was, it definitely worked, Clark.
Warriors leading by 8. Here's Barnes. Chins it with authority.
Well, after he threw that one down, he felt free to hang around for a little while.
A little extra emphasis at the end.
Yeah, you got to be careful, too, on that. It used to be an automatic technical foul. They'll still call it at times, but they're a little more selective with the call.
So it's Atlanta now, following the score by Golden State. Teague kicks to Horford. It's hauled in by Bogut. Bogut's got 3 rebounds now in this one. They better get a move on. And that's out of bounds. Golden State will retain possession.
16.
Let's quickly bring up the 2K leaderboard for a look at the top free throw shooters among point guards. Look at Curry, the best in the NBA. You put him on the line, and it's nearly automatic. And, of course, Jeff Teague, a few spots down.
Well, that was well read to know exactly where that pass was going.
Yeah, especially on the lob pass, the positioning has to be perfect.
Yeah, as easy a 2 points as you're going to get on the soft alley-oop. That was nice. Well, you look at Steph Curry, lightly recruited out of high school and ended up playing collegiately at Davidson. Of course, who could forget their amazing run in Curry's sophomore season? Davidson made it all the way to the Elite Eight, losing to the eventual national champion Kansas Jayhawks.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Joan Petro, he's checked in for Horford. Tolliver comes in for Josh Smith. And it's Jenkins in for Devin Harris. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
Here we can see, Kevin, where the Warriors rank in the NBA right now. First in three-point field goal percentage. Third in rebounding. And they're the third-ranked team in free throw percentage. A number of players on that team are very comfortable and capable at the foul line.
And you look at those numbers, and what obviously stands out is first in the league of three-point shooting. That's amazing. They've just done a nice job of spacing the floor, getting good looks for their shooters out there, and really passing the ball unselfishly.
Ivan Johnson, he's checked in for the Hawks. Korver comes in for Dante Jones. Golden State also making some changes. Jefferson comes in for Klay Thompson. And Jared Jack has subbed in for Steph Curry. The Warriors making a switch here. Curry's checked in. Now here's Johnson. Averaging 6 points per contest. Kicks it to Korver. The 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Another board for them, and they've got a huge advantage in that regard.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. I mean, rebounding one of the true barometers in winning basketball games. And if you rebound better, you typically are going to win ball games and do it comfortably.
Against the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Even though they're down, I like their mentality. Work it inside, try to create some contact down low.
I like it as well. I mean, you just can't assume that you can shoot your way back into it when you're down. You got to grind it out. And part of that is getting the ball inside.
Devin Harris is checked in for Jenkins. Now here's Green. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And you look at Andres Biedrins, good rebounder, live body, strong defender. The biggest problem for Biedrins is just the inability to convert at the free throw line. And that's why he has not developed into the offensive threat that the Warriors thought he would become.
Going back to Biedrins, you know, he played at a high level early on in his career. His play has waned over the last couple of years. A lot of injuries, you know, the nagging injuries probably more than anything else. It seems like no one really knows why aside from the injury.
I think you hit on it, the injuries, and that leads sometimes to a loss of confidence, Kevin.
Bazili's checked in for Andres Biedrins. He dishes it to Korver. The dish to Johnson. And it's going to be a 3-second call. outside Curry. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
For 3.
Curry's got 5 points now in the quarter. Stolen by Landry. The feed to Curry. Back to Landry. Goes up. Here's Azili. Nice second effort. Good job staying with it. And the Warriors lead by 14.
And that's the way it's been. A big margin for them in the rebounding category.
You know, sometimes you got to get down and dirty and do the dirty work. And this one, they've done it, and it's paid off on the scoreboard in a big way.
Gets it to go. Korver's got his second bucket.
Well, Kyle Korver is going to do one thing better than just about anybody in the league, and that's shoot the three-point ball. And he's got unlimited range, beautiful stroke, and you have to respect his range as a defense.
He just makes it look so easy, too, when he shoots. He'll be almost statuesque, but each and every time he fires from deep, he hits it. Warriors leading by 12. There's the screen. Goes for the alley-oop. Jefferson's shot is off.
That would have been a nice alley-oop there.
Well, you got to love the effort, though. Almost showtime.
And he brings it.
Important three to cut it to single digits.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Warriors lead by 9. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. A moment now to reset the lineups. Back to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Hawks. Teague out there with Devin Harris. And there's Anthony Tolliver. And it's Ivan Johnson. And it's Korver in at the free throws. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Atlanta. And both free throws good for Landry. The Hawks trail by 11. Johnson sends the screen for Teague. Korver over Barnes. The offensive rebound. Here's Johnson. Sinks that one from the post.
Johnson's textbook offensive rebounding right there. I love that. Those putbacks are buckets any team loves to get.
Curry kicks to Barnes. Good, and Curry gets the assist. 13 points for Barnes.
Seems to be recovering after that rough first half. Really starting to play well here.
Teague kicks to Smith. And it's out of bounds for the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession.
A super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score. So that's why he sold out for it and got a handle.
They continue to pull down misses. That's how they're maintaining this lead.
Yeah, well, one and done is the recipe for continuing to hold on to a lead. You don't want to let the other team back in it by giving them extra possession. Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out in getting this lead.
Here's Johnson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Pretty bad defense letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen. They send a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
Dante Jones, he's checked in for Kyle Korver. Golden's Fit also making some changes. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Azil. And Lee's subbed in for Carl Landry. Barnes kicks to Bogut. It's stolen by Johnson. 3 on 3. Here's Harris.
I like that foul. You don't want to give up an easy 2 in transition.
No, you don't want to give up a layup. Make him earn them from the stripe, and maybe you get a break and he makes only one of the free throws or misses them both.
First free throw is good.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Horford comes in for Ivan Johnson. And it's Stevenson in for Jeff Teague. No good from Bogut.
Man, excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space. Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy, and Fonnie just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yep, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
On its way from Curry for 2. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
He took advantage of that pick, and he did the rest, knocking down the J.
It's stolen by Bogut. And the foul called on Deshaun Stevenson. That's his third foul of the game. And the Hawks making a change here. Jenkins checked in. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone.
Well, they are getting out rebounded here, and it's showing up on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to improve upon if they're going to win this game.
Here's Stevenson. Stevenson off the pick from Smith. Stevenson dishes to Horford. Here's Smith. Up and in with the jumper near the hoop.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
Now the pass to Thompson. Shoots over Jenkins. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Josh Smith. That's foul number 2 for him. Evan Harris is checked in for the Hawks. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
Too little, too late from the deep. Give him credit for trying anyway.
Great job he did getting through him and up to the rim.
Yeah, now that was aggressive, and that's exactly what I like to see.
Smith. Smith missing again. Warriors leading by 13. Here's Curry. And the Warriors tack on 2 more.
How about the field goal percentage shooting this half, guys? It's gone through the roof.
Stevenson passes to Smith. To the inside. Jones covered by Lee. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Deshaun Stevenson. And Golden State also making a change. Jarrett Kent is checked in for Steph Curry.
We've seen some great shooting from him today. They've got to lean on him a little bit more.
Here's Jack. Out to Lee. Passes it to Barnes. In low to Bogut. Out to Thompson. Shoots it. And it's Golden State with another. 1:53 left to play here in the fourth. Teague kicks to Horford. Dishes it to Jones.
At the line of the Hawks, Dante Jones.
No good on the free throw. Some changes for Golden State. Beadrinch comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Jefferson in for Klay Thompson. And he's good on the second.
Well, there are quite a few stars who can lay claim to the title right now, but for you guys, who ranks as the true king of slam in the NBA right now? I know for me it's got to be Blake Griffin. The dunks he had this past season were just off the charts.
.133 left in the fourth quarter. The Hawks trail by 16. Teague with the ball. Now Jack defending. Here's Harris. Good on the triple. Harris has got 7 points for the quarter. Well, Steve, to answer the question you posed, I think I might have to go with Blake Griffin, but only on, the acrobatic circus-like feel he gives all of his dunks, the incredible torque that he musters up to throw that thing down and do it with such a ferocious feel. But that's not saying that I think he's on his way to superstardom. I think there are a lot of parts of his game he's got to work on, and work on a lot. But in terms of just his slam dunk, that probably stands out, and Blake would be at top of my list.
Yeah, Kevin, you make a great point. No question Blake Griffin is the best dunker in the game, but until he develops that consistent jump shot, he can get to the point like Karl Malone did, where he can turn and shoot over the top of the rim. He's not going to be a complete player. He's already a great player. But to become a superstar, he needs to expand his game.
Jeff Teague.
Free throw good, Teague.
You look at Jeff Teague out of Wake Forest, guys, and he's really an athletic point guard. Well put together, a young man with speed to burn. If I had to come up with the phrase for him, it would be speed merchant. He can fly.
Stephen Curry's checked in for the Warriors. And the call will be against Jeff T.
Personal foul.
That is his first foul of the game. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Curry, and the Warriors tack on 2 more.
And Jeff Teague, a slashing point guard, but, you know, he's developed his outside shot enough to keep defenses honest, and that allows him to unleash that speed and athleticism.
Here's Horford. The shot misses. So Golden State will take it the other way. He kicks to Jefferson. He feeds it to Curry. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Azili. And stolen by Jeff T. Gives him the lead pass. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Devin Harris.
That's good from Harris. And the Warriors making a change here. And Harris drops them both. Now here's Green. Curry kicks to Thompson. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Doesn't look like they're going to take it easy on them down the stretch.
It certainly doesn't look like it. They're still aggressively attacking the basket and putting up points.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Andrew Bogut.